You think free land plus $40,000 to build your dream house is some kind of internet fantasy? Cool. Let me show you 18 desert towns actually offering these deals right now in 2026 with real programs, actual money, and land that comes with deed transfers instead of timeshare presentations. These are not scams. These are desperate towns hemorrhaging population so fast they are literally paying people to move there. Most people assume free land died around 1862 with the Homestead Act, but scattered across American deserts nobody wants to live in are towns offering packages that sound too good to be true until you realize why nobody else took the deal. We are talking legitimate property, construction incentives, and municipal governments so desperate for taxpayers they will hand you dirt and cash. The catch? There is always a catch. Hell, maybe the town is 6 hours from the nearest airport, and locals think Amazon Prime is some kind of government conspiracy. Maybe water comes from wells that might run dry, maybe already are running dry, and the entire region faces climate questions that make long-term planning feel optimistic. Or maybe the desert heat is so oppressive that 9 months of the year feel like living inside an oven set to slow roast. And subscribe now, because one day you might actually need an escape plan to somewhere offering free resources, and this channel basically functions as your relocation research team documenting opportunities everyone else ignores. These are real towns with real incentive programs in 2026, and yes, they are actually giving away land plus construction money. Let us break down where these deals exist and what you are really signing up for when you accept free desert property. Curtis. And Nebraska sits in the Central Plains offering free lots plus $40,000 in construction incentives if you build within 2 years. This town has about 900 residents, exists primarily because of Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture, and desperately needs population growth to maintain services. Here is the Curtis deal. The Rural Workforce Housing Fund provides free residential lots in designated areas, plus up to $40,000 in forgivable loans for construction if you meet requirements. You must build a home meeting minimum square footage standards, occupy it as primary residence for at least 5 years, and complete construction within 24 months. The lot is yours free. The $40,000 becomes a grant if you fulfill the residency commitment. Honest property taxes are low because Nebraska and Curtis specifically offer additional tax incentives for new construction. The cost of living is about 30% below national average. Your nearest major city is North Platte, an hour away, which tells you everything about isolation levels. The job market is agriculture, college support services, and basically nothing else unless you work remotely. Curtis has a grocery store, gas station, school, and not much beyond survival infrastructure. The landscape is flat prairie that stretches forever with horizon lines that either feel liberating or suffocating depending on your tolerance for emptiness. One person who took the deal said Curtis gave them equity and savings impossible anywhere else. They built a modest house using the $40,000 as down payment leverage and their own financing for the rest. Their total monthly housing costs are under $600, including property taxes and insurance. They work remotely, drive an hour for anything beyond basics, and accepted that entertainment means satellite internet and outdoor activities. The isolation is real. So are the savings that let them bank money monthly. In plain terms, Curtis offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle extreme rural Nebraska life, where population 900 feels crowded and the nearest target is in another time zone emotionally. The deal is legitimate. The lifestyle requires serious adjustment. Marquette. Kansas offers free lots plus construction incentives reaching $40,000 through their Rural Opportunity Zone program. This town has about 600 residents, sits in central Kansas farm country, and needs people desperately enough to literally give away land. Here is how Marquette works. They provide free residential lots in specific housing developments, plus financial incentives for new construction that can total $40,000 when combining county and state programs. Or you must build within 18 months, meet minimum home value requirements usually around $100,000, and commit to primary residency for 5 years. The lot is free. The incentives reduce your construction costs significantly. Property taxes are minimal because Kansas rural counties barely charge anything when they are trying to attract residents. The cost of living is about 35% below national average. Your nearest city of any size is Salina, or 30 minutes away, which actually makes Marquette less isolated than other options. The job market is agriculture, small business, or remote work. The town has basic services, a school, and community events that probably involve livestock. The landscape is rolling prairie with wheat fields dominating everything you see. Summer heat regularly exceeds 100 degrees. Winter brings cold that cuts through layers. One couple who relocated said Marquette gave them a financial reset. They built a small house for $120,000 total, using the free lot and $40,000 in incentives to minimize costs. Their mortgage is under $700 monthly. They both work remotely, drive to Salina for shopping, and participate in community events because when population is 600, everyone knows everyone. The quiet is intense. So is the financial breathing room that lets them save half their income. Marquette offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle small-town Kansas life where your neighbors are also your volunteer fire department, church congregation, and probably related somehow. Richland, Kansas gives away free lots plus incentive packages, totaling $40,000 for new construction in rural areas, losing population faster than people lose New Year's resolutions. This unincorporated community in southwest Kansas has about 60 residents. It exists because of farming and offers deals that sound fake until you realize 60 people means the community is literally dying without intervention. Here is the Richland offer. Through County Rural Opportunity Zone programs, you get free residential property plus student loan repayment assistance or construction incentives totaling up to $40,000. If you have student loans, they will pay up to $40,000 toward those. If you do not, that money goes toward construction incentives. You must build within 2 years, live there as primary residence for 5 years, and meet basic construction standards. The property is yours free. The incentives are real money. Property taxes are almost nothing because Hamilton County desperately wants any taxpayer. Cost of living is rock bottom because there is nowhere to spend money. Your nearest actual town is Syracuse, population 1,800, 10 miles away. The job market is agriculture or remote. Richland has no services, no stores, no gas station, nothing. You are homesteading with internet access, basically. The landscape is flat, high plains where wind never stops and sky dominates everything. Someone who took this deal said Richland is extreme even by rural standards. They built a small barn-dominium-style home for $90,000 total, used the free land and $40,000 incentive to keep costs minimal, and now live mortgage-free. They farm part-time, work online, and deal with isolation that means seeing another human requires intentional effort. Grocery shopping is a planned expedition. Entertainment is what you create. But they own everything outright, have no debt, and bank nearly all income. Richland offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle isolation so complete that neighbors are measured in miles, not houses. Mankato. Kansas provides free lots plus financial incentives approaching $40,000 through combined city and county programs designed to stop population collapse. This town has about 800 residents, sits in north-central Kansas, and offers deals that reflect genuine demographic panic. Here is Mankato's program. Free residential lots in designated developments, plus forgivable loans and construction incentives totaling up to $35,000 through city programs and another $5,000 through county opportunity zones. You must build within 2 years, Occupy as primary residence for 5 years and meet minimum construction values around $120,000. The lot is free. The money is forgivable loans that become grants when you fulfill residency requirements. Our property taxes are low with additional abatements for new construction. Cost of living is about 32% below national average. Your nearest larger town is Concordia, 40 minutes away. Job market is agriculture, healthcare at the local clinic, education, or remote work. Mankato has basic infrastructure including grocery, gas, school, and community services that function because of dedicated volunteers. The landscape is prairie farmland with Kansas wind as constant background noise. One family who moved there said Mankato was their financial escape. They built a house for $130,000, used the free lot and $35,000 incentive to minimize down payment, and have a mortgage under $800 monthly. Both parents work remotely. Kids attend local school, and they adapted to life where entertainment is potlucks and high school sports. The community welcomed them because new families are rare enough to celebrate. The isolation means careful planning for everything, but housing costs so low, they save aggressively. Mankato offers free land and serious incentives if you can handle Kansas rural life where everyone knows your business and weather is a legitimate daily concern. Marne, Iowa offers free lots plus construction incentives totaling $40,000 in a town with population 120 that desperately needs literally anyone to move there. This tiny western Iowa community exists on the edge of viability and knows it. Here is the Marne situation. Free residential lots plus cash incentives for new construction that reach $40,000 when combining local and state programs. You must build within 3 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home value requirements around $100,000. The lot is free. The incentives are direct grants and forgivable loans. Property taxes are minimal because Iowa rural towns barely charge anything when fighting depopulation. Cost of living is extremely low because services are limited and spending options non-existent. Your nearest actual town is Atlantic, 15 miles away with population 7,000. Job market is agricultural or remote only. Marne has essentially no local services. No gas station, no store, just houses and a community center. And the landscape is rolling farmland with Iowa corn and soybeans surrounding everything. One person who took the deal said Marne is for people who want absolute quiet and minimal cost. They built a tiny home-style house for $80,000 total, used the free lot and incentives to pay cash, and live completely debt-free. They work online, drive to Atlantic for everything, and embraced isolation as lifestyle. The town has community events that draw maybe 30 people and feel important because population 120 means every person matters. The silence is complete. So are the savings that let them retire decades early potentially. Marne offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle Iowa rural isolation, where population 120 makes you question what qualifies as a town. Flagler. Colorado provides free lots plus $40,000 in construction incentives in a high plains town, losing population steadily enough to panic local leaders. This town has about 600 residents, sits in eastern Colorado's empty quarter, and offers deals reflecting desperation masked as opportunity. Here is Flagler's program. Free residential lots in new housing development, plus up to $40,000 in construction grants and forgivable loans through combined town and county programs. You must build within 24 months. Occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum construction standards. The lot is free clear title. The incentives cover significant construction costs if you build modestly. Property taxes are low, with additional new construction abatements. Cost of living is about 28% below national average. Your nearest city is Lyman, 30 miles away, which is barely a city itself. Job market is agriculture, small business. Or remote work only. Flagler has basic services including school, grocery, gas station, and strong community identity built around high school sports. The landscape is high plains, shortgrass prairie, where elevation exceeds 5,000 feet, and weather is unpredictable and sometimes violent. Wind is constant. Summer hail destroys crops regularly. Winter cold is bone deep. One couple said Flagler gave them affordable home ownership impossible elsewhere. They built a ranch-style house for $110,000, used the free lot and $40,000 incentive to minimize borrowing, and have a mortgage under $600 monthly. They work remotely, participate in community events because everyone does, and deal with isolation offset by financial security. The landscape is stark beauty or oppressive emptiness, depending on your mood. Flagler offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle Colorado High Plains life, where weather is dangerous, isolation is standard, and 600 people is the entire social universe. New Richland, Minnesota offers free lots, plus financial incentives reaching $40,000 in a southern Minnesota town trying to maintain population despite rural decline. This town has about 1,200 residents, sits in agricultural heartland. And provides deals that reflect Midwestern practicality meeting demographic crisis. Here is New Richland's offer: free residential lots in designated housing areas, plus construction incentives and forgivable loans totaling up to $40,000 through city and county programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home values around $150,000. The lot is free. The incentives significantly reduce construction costs. And property taxes are moderate with new construction abatements. Cost of living is about 15% below national average. Your nearest larger town is Waseca, 15 miles away, with Mankato 30 miles providing actual city amenities. Job market includes agriculture, manufacturing at local plants, healthcare, education, or remote work. New Richland has full services, including good schools, grocery, restaurants, and infrastructure that functions well. The landscape is Minnesota farmland with lakes nearby and 4 seasons, including brutal winters. One family said New Richland offered suburban amenities with rural costs. They built a house for $160,000, used the free lot and incentives to keep equity high from day one, and have a mortgage under $1,000 monthly. The schools are good, community is welcoming, and isolation is minimal compared to other options because Mankato is close enough for shopping and entertainment. Winter is legitimately harsh with snow and cold lasting months, but the deal gave them homeownership years earlier than possible elsewhere. New Richland offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle Minnesota weather and small-town life with better services than most rural options. Elwood, Nebraska provides free lots plus construction incentives totaling $40,000 in a Platte River Valley town, with under 700 residents fighting depopulation actively. Here is how Elwood works. Free residential lots in city housing development, plus up to $40,000 in construction grants through combined city, county, and state programs. You must build within 3 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home value requirements around $120,000. The lot is free. The incentives are forgivable loans becoming grants. Property taxes are low, with additional incentives for new residents. Cost of living is about 30% below national average. Your nearest larger town is Lexington, 20 miles away. Job market is agriculture, manufacturing at nearby plants, healthcare, or remote work. Elwood has basic full services including school, grocery, gas, and community facilities. The landscape is Platte River Valley farmland with irrigation systems dominating views. One couple who moved there said Elwood offered financial stability and simplicity. Oh, they built a modest house for $110,000, used free lot and $40,000 incentive to minimize debt, and have housing costs under $700 monthly. They both work remotely, kids attend local school with small class sizes, and they adapted to life where Friday night means high school football is the main event. The community is tight-knit because small populations create that naturally. Isolation is real but manageable with Lexington close enough for needs. Elwood offers free land and $40,000 if you accept Nebraska small-town life where agriculture dominates economy and winter cold is significant, but survival infrastructure is solid. Lincoln, Kansas offers free lots plus incentive packages reaching $40,000 in a north-central Kansas town, with under 1,300 residents experiencing slow, steady population decline. Here is Lincoln's deal. Free residential lots in housing development areas, plus construction incentives and forgivable loans totaling up to $40,000 through city and county opportunity programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum construction standards around $130,000. The lot is free clear deed. The incentives cover significant portions of construction. Property taxes are low, with new construction abatements lasting years. Cost of living is about 25% below national average. Your nearest larger town is Salina, 45 minutes away, providing access to city amenities while living rural. Job market includes agriculture, local government, healthcare at clinic, education, or remote work. Lincoln has full basic services, including good schools, grocery, gas, restaurants, and active community organizations. The landscape is Kansas rolling prairie farmland with views stretching forever. One family said Lincoln provided quality of life upgrade despite leaving urban area. They built a house for $140,000, used free lot and incentives to keep mortgage under $900 monthly, and gained space and financial breathing room. The schools are small but well rated. Community events are frequent. Everyone knows everyone, which is either comforting or suffocating, depending on personality. Isolation means planning ahead, but Salina is close enough to prevent true remoteness. Lincoln offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle Kansas small-town life with better infrastructure than many rural options and community culture that is genuinely welcoming if you participate. Osborne, Kansas provides free lots plus $40,000 in combined construction incentives in a northwest Kansas town with under 1,400 residents, actively recruiting new families. Here is the Osborne program. Free residential lots in designated areas, plus up to $40,000 in construction grants, forgivable loans, and student loan repayment assistance through county opportunity zones and city programs. You choose between student loan assistance or construction incentives depending on needs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home values around $120,000. The lot is free, and the financial package is customizable. Property taxes are minimal with additional new resident incentives. Cost of living is about 30% below national average. Your nearest larger town is Hayes, 60 miles away, which means Osborne is genuinely isolated. Job market is agriculture, healthcare at local hospital, education, county government, or remote work. Osborne has full services, including hospital, schools, grocery, gas, and active community life. The landscape is high plains transitioning to Flint Hills with dramatic big sky views. One couple said Osborne was their debt elimination plan. They used the $40,000 for student loan repayment, built a house using conventional financing at $110,000, and the free lot kept equity high immediately. They both work in healthcare locally, kids attend school with small classes, and they embraced community involvement because that is how small towns function. The isolation means hour-plus drives for shopping beyond basics. But financial freedom from eliminated student debt and low housing costs let them save aggressively. Osborne offers free land and $40,000 with flexibility if you can handle Kansas isolation and small-town culture, where community participation is basically mandatory for social survival. Plainville. Kansas offers free lots plus construction incentives totaling $40,000 in a northwest Kansas town with about 1,800 residents, maintaining services better than population suggests. Here is Plainville's deal. Free residential lots in housing development plus up to $40,000 in construction incentives through combined city, county, and state opportunity programs. You must build within 3 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home values around $140,000. The lot is free. The incentives are forgivable loans and grants. Property taxes are low with new construction abatements. Cost of living is about 27% below national average. Your nearest city is Hays, 45 minutes away. Job market includes agriculture, manufacturing at local plants, healthcare at clinic, education, or remote work. Plainville has full services including schools, grocery, gas, restaurants, medical facilities, and recreation infrastructure. The landscape is high plains farmland with Kansas big sky and endless horizons. One family said Plainville balanced affordability with livability better than other rural options. They built a house for $150,000, used free lot and $40,000 incentive to keep mortgage under $1,000 monthly, and found community that welcomed newcomers actively. The schools are good, activities exist for kids, and while isolation is real, and Hays provides city access when needed. Winter weather is harsh and summer heat intense, but infrastructure handles it. Plainville offers free land and $40,000 if you want Kansas small-town life with better services and community culture that functions well despite size. Claremont, Minnesota provides free lots plus incentives reaching $40,000 in a southern Minnesota town with about 500 residents fighting population loss through aggressive recruitment. Now here is how Claremont works. Free residential lots in designated development plus construction incentives and forgivable loans totaling up to $40,000 through city and county programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home values around $130,000. The lot is free. The incentives cover significant construction costs. Property taxes are moderate with new construction abatements. Cost of living is about 18% below national average. Your nearest town is Owatonna, 20 miles away, providing city services access. Job market includes agriculture, manufacturing at regional plants, healthcare, education, or remote work. Claremont has basic services, including school, community center, and essential infrastructure. The landscape is Minnesota farmland with rolling fields and lakes within driving distance. One couple said Claremont was affordable family life restart. They built a house for $120,000, used free lot and incentives to minimize debt, and have housing costs under $700 monthly. The school is small, but community supports it strongly. Everyone knows everyone, which creates built-in support network. Winter is Minnesota brutal with serious cold and snow. But Owatonna is close enough that isolation is manageable. Claremont offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle Minnesota small-town winters and population 500, where your kids will be in classes with same people for years. Mound City, Kansas offers free lots plus $40,000 in construction incentives in an eastern Kansas town with under 700 residents experiencing steady decline. Here is Mound City's program. Free residential lots in city development, plus up to $40,000 in combined construction grants and forgivable loans through city and county opportunity programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum construction standards around $100,000. The lot is free. The incentives significantly reduce building costs. Property taxes are low with additional abatements. Cost of living is about 30% below national average. Your nearest larger town is Fort Scott, 30 minutes away, with Kansas City Metro 90 minutes providing major city access occasionally. Job market includes agriculture, education, healthcare at local clinic, or remote work. Mound City has basic services including school, grocery, gas, and community facilities. The landscape is eastern Kansas rolling hills transitioning to prairie with more trees than western parts of state. While one person who relocated said Mound City offered financial reset with proximity to civilization. They built a small house for $95,000, used free lot and incentives to pay mostly cash and have minimal monthly costs. They work remotely, participate in community events, and appreciate that Kansas City is accessible for occasional city needs. The population is aging and declining, which means new young families are celebrated intensely. And Mound City offers free land and $40,000 if you want Kansas affordability with better access to larger cities than purely isolated options. Ellsworth, Kansas provides free lots plus construction incentives totaling $40,000 in a central Kansas town with about 3,500 residents maintaining stronger economy than many comparable communities. Here is Go's Ellsworth's deal. Free residential lots in designated housing areas, plus up to $40,000 in construction incentives through city and county programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home values around $150,000. The lot is free. The incentives are forgivable loans and grants reducing construction costs significantly. Property taxes are low with new construction incentives. Cost of living is about 22% below national average. Your nearest city is Salina, 40 minutes away. Job market includes agriculture, manufacturing at local plants, healthcare at Regional Medical Center, education, military contracting for nearby Fort Riley, or remote work. Ellsworth has full services including good schools, hospital, grocery, restaurants, and recreation facilities. The landscape is central Kansas prairie farmland with Smoky Hills nearby providing some topographic variation. One family said Ellsworth offered best balance of affordability and amenities. They built a house for $160,000, used free lot and $40,000 incentive to keep mortgage reasonable, and found community with actual economy beyond agriculture. The schools are solid. Healthcare is accessible locally, and Salina is close enough for shopping and entertainment. Population 3,500 means slightly less isolation than smaller options. Ellsworth offers free land and $40,000 if you want Kansas incentives with slightly larger town benefits and economy that functions better than pure rural communities. Atwood, Kansas offers free lots plus $40,000 in incentives in a northwest Kansas town with under 1,200 residents actively recruiting anyone willing to move there. Here is the Atwood program. Free residential lots in city housing development plus up to $40,000 in combined construction incentives, forgivable loans, and potential student loan assistance through county opportunity zones. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum construction values around $110,000. The lot is free clear title. The financial package is flexible based on needs. Property taxes are minimal because the county desperately wants any new taxpayer. Cost of living is about 32% below national average. Your nearest anything is Colby, 30 minutes away, with larger cities hours distant. Job market is agriculture, healthcare at local clinic, education, or remote work almost exclusively. Atwood has basic full services including school, grocery, gas, medical clinic, and community center. The landscape is high plains, short grass prairie, where sky dominates and population density is among lowest in Kansas. One couple said Atwood was extreme affordability trade. They built a house for $100,000, used free lot and $40,000 incentive to minimize borrowing and have housing costs under $600 monthly. They work remotely, homeschool kids partially, and accepted isolation as lifestyle choice. Our community events are well attended because entertainment options are limited. The silence and space are either perfect freedom or oppressive emptiness, depending on personality. Atwood offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle extreme northwest Kansas isolation, where population 1,200 feels almost urban compared to surrounding emptiness. Bird City. How Kansas provides free lots plus construction incentives approaching $40,000 in a tiny northwest Kansas town with under 400 residents on the edge of viability. Here is Bird City's offer. Free residential lots plus up to $40,000 in construction incentives and support through county opportunity programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet basic construction standards. The lot is free. The incentives are flexible grants and loans. Property taxes are almost non-existent. Cost of living is extremely low because there is nowhere to spend money. Your nearest town is St. Francis, 10 miles away, with population 1,000. Job market is agriculture or remote work only. Bird City has minimal services, including school that consolidates with nearby district, and basically nothing else commercial. The landscape is extreme high plains where Kansas, Colorado, and Nebraska borders nearly meet, and emptiness is total. One person who took this deal said Bird City is for people who want complete isolation and minimal cost. They built a small, efficient house for $85,000, used free lot and incentives to pay cash, and live debt-free. They work online, drive to St. Francis or Colby for everything, and embraced lifestyle where nearest neighbor is measured in fractions of miles. The population is aging and declining rapidly. New residents under 50 are rare enough to be newsworthy. The silence is absolute. Bird City offers free land and $40,000. If you can handle isolation so extreme that 400 people is the entire local human population and services are almost non-existent. Tribune, Kansas offers free lots plus $40,000 in incentives in a far western Kansas town with under 700 residents, closer to Colorado than any Kansas city. Oh, here is Tribune's deal. Free residential lots plus up to $40,000 in construction incentives through county opportunity programs. You must build within 2 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum construction values around $100,000. The lot is free. The incentives significantly reduce building costs. Property taxes are minimal. Cost of living is about 35% below national average. Your nearest anything is Leoti, 20 miles away, or with actual cities hours distant in any direction. Job market is agriculture or remote work almost exclusively. Tribune has basic services including school, grocery, gas, and community center. The landscape is high plains, short grass prairie, where elevation exceeds 3,000 feet, and the horizon line is uninterrupted for miles. One family said Tribune was their financial independence plan. They built a house for $95,000, a used free lot, and $40,000 incentive to minimize debt, and have housing costs under $500 monthly. They both work remotely, homeschool kids, and accepted that isolation is total. Grocery shopping is planned expedition. Entertainment is what you create. Weather is extreme with harsh winters and hot summers. But they own everything, have no debt, and save most of their income for early retirement. Tribune offers free land and $40,000 if you can handle far western Kansas isolation where population 700 is everyone you will interact with locally and services are absolutely minimal. Ness City, Kansas provides free lots plus construction incentives totaling $40,000 in a west central Kansas town with about 1,400 residents maintaining services despite ongoing population challenges. Here is Ness City's program. Of free residential lots in housing development, plus up to $40,000 in construction grants and forgivable loans through city and county programs. You must build within 3 years, occupy as primary residence for 5 years, and meet minimum home values around $120,000. The lot is free. The incentives cover significant construction portions. Property taxes are low with new resident abatements. Cost of living is about 28% below national average. While your nearest larger town is Dodge City, 60 miles away. Job market includes agriculture, health care at local hospital, education, county government, or remote work. Ness City has full services including hospital, schools, grocery, gas, restaurants, and recreation facilities. The landscape is west central Kansas prairie farmland with Arkansas River Valley nearby. One couple said Ness City balanced affordability with livability. They built a house for $130,000, used free lot and $40,000 incentive to keep mortgage under $800 monthly, and found community that welcomed new families. The hospital means local health care access, which matters in isolated areas. Schools are small but functional. Isolation is significant with Dodge City being nearest city of any size. But infrastructure is solid and community functions well. At Ness City offers free land and $40,000 if you want Kansas affordability with hospital access and population large enough to support actual services despite isolation. Be honest, would you actually move to a desert town, accept free land and $40,000, build a house, and commit to 5 years if it meant extreme isolation, harsh weather, and communities with populations under 1,000? Drop your tolerance for rural life below because we just counted down 18 places literally giving away land and construction money in 2026. Like this video, if you realize these programs actually exist and might represent financial opportunity or lifestyle reset for people willing to make serious compromises. Subscribe because knowing where incentive programs exist could save you from financial mistakes or lead you to opportunities everyone else overlooks while complaining housing is unaffordable everywhere.